Hey everyone, Drea here. Anyway, today I know a lot of you guys have been asking about my makeup. I get compliments all the time on my makeup, and I've even been asked if I do tutorials. I have decided to try this out. So today we are going to talk about my skincare routine and foundation. So first I want to start off by saying I have no makeup on, obviously, and I have blemishy skin, lots of dark spots and stuff. That is not from acne. I want to say this. I suffer from anxiety, depression, and OCD, and it manifests itself with me picking at my skin. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I pick at my face, my arms, my legs, so just know that the blemishes on my face are not from acne. I am not an acne sufferer, so if you are someone who suffers from acne, my routine may not work for you, but we're gonna go for it anyway, okay? Okay, so first I want to talk about the cleanser I use. Right now I'm using a Mary Kay 3-in-1 Time-Wise. Hopefully you can see that. Put a little closer. Mary Kay 3-in-1 Time-Wise. I use this daily, 2 times a day. I try 2 times a day, but it happens at least once a day. And after I use my cleanser, I moisturize with my Tidal Sunday Riley. I love this stuff. It's a little pricey. I'll put links to everything that I use in the description box, but I use this as my moisturizer. And I use that in conjunction with Mary Kay Nighttime Solution. Depends on if it's night or day. Or I use the Mary Kay Day Solution. And that's every day that I use the cleanser and those moisturizers. 2 to 3 times a week I do a microdermabrasion with Mary Kay. It's a Mary Kay microdermabrasion, and the moisturizer for that one is step 2 of the Mary Kay microdermabrasion set. I use that 2 to 3 times a week, just depending. My skin is very oily, so it's oily in the T-zone here, and then kind of dry on the outside, so it's a combination. And I use that roughly maybe 2 to 3. Sometimes I try to get it done at least twice a week, the microdermabrasion. And when I moisturize, I usually put the day or the night solution with that as well, depending on when I'm doing it. I usually only do the microdermabrasion in the evenings because it does make my skin a little red, because it's taking off the dead skin and stuff. So it does look a little flush after I use it. So that's my skincare routine. And primer. Let me talk about primer. Right now I am using Bare Minerals Prime Time. I'm not a fan of this, I will say that, but it's what I have for right now. My favorite primer actually is right now is this Auburn primer that I got. It's an all-natural company, and I love their primer, but I'm out of it, so I'm stuck with Bare Minerals Prime Time. I just bought this Rimmel London. It's their primer. I'm sorry, I don't even know what it is. I literally just opened this up. Sorry if you can't really see it. Maybe that's better. I have not used this yet. I'm going to use it today with the foundation tutorial I'm doing. Okay, so let's get into what foundations I use, because that is the question I get asked all the time. What foundation do you use? Let me tell you guys something. I don't use one foundation. I use 2, because I can't find a foundation that matches my skin tone. And in the summer I'm darker than I am in the winter, and right now with the season changing, I'm in a state of transition where I'm turning from nice and chocolatey to high yellow. Yes, Drea is yellow. I'm not chocolatey like all you guys think I am. I'm super yellow, as you can already see. Like, You know, I'm kind of a little yellow glow ball. So I use two foundations. The one that I am absolutely in love with and I've been using for a little while now, maybe since like February of this year, I've been using it, is the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation. So that is the foundation I'm using right now. And the color that I'm using is Deep 71. Deep 71. Sorry if you can't see it. So I use that also with Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I use them together. The Fit Me Matte and Poreless is a little bit darker than my normal shade, but the Kat Von D doesn't come in a shade that fits me perfectly. So I use this to match my skin tone a little better, because the Kat Von D is a little bit lighter than I would use, and the Fit Me Matte and Poreless is a little bit darker than I use. So depending on how light or dark I am because of the season, depends on how much more of the Fit Me Matte and Poreless or the Kat Von D I use, okay? So hopefully that helps. So what I'm gonna do is, when I apply my foundation, I don't use a brush or anything like that. I use my fingers. I get the best coverage by using my fingers. I feel like I don't use a whole bunch of product when I use my fingers. So these little babies right here are what I use to put my makeup on. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime right now with this primer. And then I'll put the foundation on for you. Okay, so this is the amount of primer I have on. It's probably too much. Like I said, I'm no makeup artist. I don't know what I'm doing. This is just what works for me. And I haven't used this primer before. This is a new primer for me. I'm also, I will say, not one of those people who do my eyebrows and eye makeup first. It depends. Sometimes I do it first. If it's super glittery, I will do my eye makeup first. If it's not, I put my foundation on first, because I like to, I say a lot, sorry. I did it again. Because I'm usually on a time constraint when I put my makeup on, so I just kind of quickly do everything, okay? So I'm going to shake my Fit Me Matte and Poreless. They're both liquid, by the way. The Kat Von D is very creamy. It's more like a mousse. It's very thick. And the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless is very liquidy, very silky. It's nice. So I put a little dot of, oh, hold on. All right, a little dot of Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and one little squirt of the Kat Von D right on top. It looks like poopy. Okay, I literally rub it together on my fingers like that, like so, and I kind of just place it around. Just like that, and I start to go ahead and rub it in. Not rub it in, because foundation doesn't get rubbed in, but rub it around, blend it. And like I said, I use my fingers because my fingers are nice and gentle and they do the job. So blend, blend, blend. And just push it into my hairline. Make sure you always push your foundation into your hairline, your chin. Gonna get on in there like that. And there is my liquid foundation. So you see, I'm pretty well covered. It's not perfect, but it's pretty well covered. So the coverage is good. I will definitely say the Lock-It foundation is a very high coverage foundation. And the matte and poreless, I would say is like a medium coverage. So I like a high coverage for my foundation just because I am so splotchy. So then what I do is I take my Pro Airbrush Blender. I got this from Sephora. It's number 78 Sephora brush. It's very stiff brush. And I just kind of take it and stipple just to make sure everything's blended out well. So I use my fingers to apply, and then I take the brush and just kind of go around like that. Okay. Bam. So that's done. So what I do next is, I don't know if a lot of you guys have heard of this baking thing that's going on. It's kind of a play on that. I do take a pressed powder, and the powder that I use is Ben Nye luxury powder. I love this stuff. I was using, let me see, I'll show you what I was using. I was using Auburn's translucent setting powder. It's called Setting Pretty by Auburn. It's that company that I was telling you about, that all natural company. I'll put links to everything, I promise. I was using that, but and it works very well. I wanted more of a color, something that was more like the color of my skin, and that's more translucent. So that's why I got the Ben Nye. And what I do with that, I use a wedge, little wedge, and I kind of shake the powder. It's loose powder, so you have to shake it to get it to come up. And I apply it very liberally. I use a lot of this, and a lot of people use this kind of just under their eyes. I use it everywhere. I go a little thicker under my eyes because, like I said, I'm a little oily, and under my eyes and on the bridge of my nose, that's where I get the most oily, and around my mouth. So I go very generous. I use it generously under my eyes. And then I do my cheeks. I puff everywhere. I put this everywhere. And a little more. And I go ahead and I just kind of put it on like that, like so, on my forehead too. Bridge of my nose, around my mouth. My chin. I don't forget my chin. Some ladies sometimes forget their chin and they think their fake makeup stops like right here, and then they get that weird line where their face doesn't look real or whatever. And also do my eyelids, because I don't always wear eyeshadow that covers my eyelids. So I want my skin to look even and not like I forgot my eyelids in my foundation routine. So if I know I'm not gonna wear a lot of shadow, I will do my eyelids as well. Okay, so that's the Ben Nye luxury powder. I do that. And then I take this brush here. It's a Morphe brush. Morphe! I will say this, invest in great brushes. Brushes are good. They're awesome tools, and they help with how your makeup as a overall turns out. So if you have good brushes, then you'll have a good result. And I don't know what number brush this is. This brush was actually given to me by a friend. So what I do after I put the powder on is I kind of just rub it out, you know, get rid of the excess and blend very well. That's the key to having a nice, good coverage, is to blend, blend, blend. Okay, so now we're gonna talk concealer. This is an everyday foundation for me. if I want a heavier coverage, I will use a concealer under my eyes. Hopefully you can see that my coverage is pretty good, you know, especially like what you saw before. Sorry, that's kind of gross. I just lick my finger and then fix my eyebrow. I don't know if anybody else does that, but I totally do that. So anyway, this is, like I said, if I want a really full coverage, like on a Sunday or a weekend, or I'm going out or something like that, and I want to really make sure that my blemishes and under my eyes are not looking dark, I will use the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer. Hopefully you can see that. I use that. I'm not going to use that today because this is a weekday, and this, like I said, this is just everyday makeup for me. So that's kind of it. That is my foundation routine. I will put this out there. Do not be afraid to mix foundations together. There's nothing wrong with doing it to get that perfect color for yourself. It took me a little while to find a good mix, and I'm always still trying new foundations out. There's tons of foundations that I still want to try. Right now, I've just found something that really works for me, that works with my skin, consistency. You know, like I said, I'm oily and dry at the same time. So it works. It works for me. So if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to put them in the comments. Please subscribe to my new YouTube channel, Drea the Makeup Lover. Okay, so my next video will probably be a full look. I get a lot of questions about my foundation, so I thought I'd do one just on my foundation. So that's it for now. Skincare, foundation, drink lots of water. So water is so good for your skin. So, you know, work on your skin from the inside out. And it takes time. Don't think that if you drink a gallon of water that your skin is magically going to be flawless. It doesn't happen that way. So, all right, well, until the next video, I'll see you.